Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors. Die Future Africa landskap het ten doel om stedelike lewe te herdefinieer, deur stedelike landskappe te diversifiseer om kos vir mense en fauna te voorsien. Dit sal die potensiaal van Suid-Afrikaanse en Afrika-plante as voedselbronne tentoonstel en die waarde van 'n oorwegend inheemse landskap demonstreer. Plantspesies word sorgvuldig gekies om hierdie visie te ondersteun.
So, my name is Jason Sampson and I'm the curator of the Manie van der Skype Botanical Garden at the University of Pretoria. The Manie van der Skype Botanical Garden is 100 years old and it's a research collection of plants. So in other words, we collect plants that have potential for research, and that research can be medicinal, it can be food research, it can be industrial. Okay, so we maintain many thousand species of plants, and we also maintain specialized collections. The Future Africa collection is our specialized food and forage plant collection, and it is housed here on the Future Africa campus. The entire project dates from about 2015 in the design phases, and as you can see, the entire landscape is designed as an aesthetic landscape. It's meant to be pretty, it's meant to look like a garden, except every single plant you see here has an edible use, okay, and sometimes a medicinal one as well. Okay, as a botanical garden, it is involved in active research, in this case largely culinary research. Well, you see, the beauty of a combination of orphan crops and wild food plants, heirloom crops, is that you will find a range of adaptability within them. So certain things will prefer to grow in shade. Some of them like dry, well-drained soil. Some of them will even grow in water. We've got aquatic crops here like water chestnuts. But if you plan around what each and every plant gets, you get exactly the effect that you have here, which is an aesthetic, beautiful landscape that is 100% edible. We have many sources. We buy from seed merchants. We get from other botanical gardens, collectors. We can even import if we need to, but generally we found that we can find most of what we need locally. There is a very vibrant food plant community, collecting community and homesteaders community in Southern Africa. Some of our most interesting stuff we've actually found in community gardens on the side of the road. We literally drive past, we're like, stop, come, let's go and have a look at what's happening here. You know, so really the sky's the limit, and you can collect plants like this your whole life, really. We currently have 9 contract staff on site to maintain these gardens, and we have a curator of this specific collection, who's Richard Hay. He's doing his PhD in agrobiodiversity, which is a fancy term talking about agricultural diversity, basically.
So the whole idea of these gardens is to integrate food production into the urban environment. We have a very strong focus on drought-tolerant crops, or crops that have a fairly high stress tolerance, specifically for home and community gardens, not just to make things easier, but also to reduce the amount of inputs like water and fertilizers that are required for production. And then the campus landscape itself is also designed to harvest rainwater. So our entire irrigation system is fed directly from the dam, which is basically filled by the gutter system on the campus. So we really try to limit our use of water on the campus and reduce our reliance on other water sources like the borehole as much as possible. So we have a really strong community engagement focus within this collection. We routinely host community workshops to teach people about these crops, expose them to cropping options, and give training on everyday production. We also have a volunteer program for TUT and UNISA students who come and do their work integrated learning here on the campus as part of their diplomas in horticulture and crop production. We really want to see more of these crops grown across South Africa in both home and community gardens, and so we are always open to providing information or training to communities wherever possible to help us with our goal of getting these crops out there, feeding the nation. The campus itself is quite a challenging urban environment. There's a lot of activity here. It's in between buildings. It's not always what we'd consider optimal conditions for crop production, but that is a reality that most South Africans are facing, that they're trying to grow food in their backyards, in their communities, and so we really try to focus on crops that can be produced outside of what we'd call traditional agricultural spaces. And so we're hoping by increasing awareness of these crops and getting them into communities, more and more people will start reimagining the urban green space as a source of food, of medicinal plants, of plants that can be used by communities, not just for the aesthetics of greenery. The only way to learn to grow plants is really to get your hands dirty and to grow more and to learn from those experiences. I think growing crops is a lifelong journey and you're not going to get anywhere if you're too scared to try. We'd really just love to encourage more people to explore different cropping options. Even within the conventional crops, there's so many options of heirloom cultivars and different selections that are better suited for the home garden. And the flavor potential of a lot of these sort of lesser known cultivars and selections is far better than the current commercial options. And so we'd love to see more people just being creative with plants, incorporating them wherever they can in their green space, and building communities around it. We don't necessarily just want people to grow plants for themselves. Grow for your neighbors, grow within your community, encourage more people around you to get involved in any green space in your street, in your local park, and take ownership of green spaces in South Africa.
Toekomstige verstedeliking in Afrika vereis oplossings vir uitdagings soos water en voedselskaarste. Deur inheemse hulpbronne en erfenis te benut, kan ons lewens verbeter en bestaande hulpbronne maksimaal benut. Nisboere word met trots geborg deur Laveld Agrochem en JAC Motors.